Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting iiRcade Gamedaze Live. I'm your host, Michael, producer here at iiRcade. Let's get things started. It's Gamedaze, right? Happy Friday, everybody. It's good to see you all in the chat. I see you already going off a little bit here, which is fun. Thanks for everybody who came out last night, too, to Game and Brew Night. We had a blast. Hopefully we'll have a bigger one maybe later in the year as well, too. This is a little bit more low-key this time, but we had a good time. So everybody got to see the new gold units and stuff, so we got some feedback on those, which is great. It's always good to see actual owners with the machines in person talk about the new wave of them, right? So it's really good feedback that we got. So super appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, drinking, having a good time. But yeah, otherwise, today's docket's pretty simple. We're going to talk about Moto Rush GT, as well as probably Moto Race USA. We'll see. We'll talk about that in a bit here. Otherwise, a little bit of Q&A. Nothing too fancy today. Nothing too special going on right now. So again, Q1 is a very, very busy time for us over here. Coming off of the holidays, coming off of CES, coming off of other things, and just realigning for the year. So lots of stuff going on here backstage, which is fun. So yeah, let's see. Let me see who's in the chat right now too. I see Mark, I see Gene, I see Mike, I see Pop Brad, I see everybody. It's good to see you all, per usual. I hope you've already tried the new game. We did release it today, Moto Rush GT, which is brought to you by Baltoro Games, the same team that did Knights and Guns, which is another game that's on the cab right now too. So the cool thing is, I'll show you a little bit later on that one too. But let's jump into some Moto Rush, right? So let me see here. Add to my stream. In case you haven't checked it out yet, I hope it's not too loud. Actually, I'll probably just turn it down. There we go, right? Awesome. We'll go this way. Cool. But yeah, so this is Moto Rush GT, which you see on screen above me. There we go. I can learn to point at things sometimes. So Moto Rush GT it's not, I wouldn't even call it a racing game. It's sort of a racing game, but not at the same time, right? So you're not actually racing opponents. Sometimes you do race a ghost opponent, which is your previous self. So that does happen in the game, but even though it's titled as a racing game, it's more so just because you're speeding through traffic, right? So there's oil spills, water spills, weather conditions, other obstacles in your way. There's ramps. And of course, you can always pop wheelies, but it prevents you from seeing in front of you, and it makes you go faster. So it's worth it if you can get it done. However, popping the wheelies is totally a dangerous thing to do. So there you go. It comes with tons of maps, tons of different courses, a whole mess of bikes, including the Jokester, which is fun. There's that Phantom right there you see in front on that video right there. So that's why it's sort of more racing too, if you're racing yourself. But yeah, so the Jokester is a fun bike that you can unlock in the game too, which is basically what's a mountain bike, I guess, too. So you can actually play this game on a mountain bike. Different glove variations and stuff too. So basically everything you see on screen can actually be customized. You can actually take off the UI as well too. If you want to just play without the UI, you can totally do that. So it's fun. It's a more modern gen racer, which is fun. I keep saying racer, even though I keep calling it not a racer too. It's both a racer and not, right? So the difference is you're just not racing a ton of opponents, right? It's not like 8 other people that you're racing at a time. They're like going around the track and stuff. So tons of different levels though. Super enjoy it. Feel free to pick it up. It's available on the store right now. It's been there all day. Yes, the Gearbox and Attitude. Fun. I see this right now too. Thank you, Triangle Watermelon. But yes, cool. So that's Moto Rush. It's a little harder to display it right now on our new machines. So I'm not going to HDMI to actually play it for you today, unfortunately, like I would normally do, or back in the day at least. But yeah, so we've actually changed the controls as well to include twin stick in this game, which is fun. But you don't have to play it that way. You can play with just the buttons, or you can play it as twin stick. Totally up to you. Both of them are fine options. So just a little bit of fun on the system that we added the twin stick for, just because we could, pretty much. So it's fine. It's working out great. People were playing it last night, having a good time as well too. Here on the new devices that we have in the office. All 8 of them that came back from CES in somewhat okay condition. Unfortunately, shipping was not great. But yeah. Otherwise, so this is done by Baltoro Games, right? And you might notice that Baltoro Games also did another game on the system, right? Knights and Guns we talked about. So what's funny is that Knights and Guns is even announced on their website too as not a sequel, but a direct correlation. It's correlated to Pang Adventures. Well, really just Pang. So we do have Pang Adventures on the system too if you ever want to check it out. But Knights and Guns is basically a remake of Pang in a cooler way, I think. So, and Pang was an old school Konami arcade game. So in case you've ever played Pang, Knights and Guns. But then if you've seen Moto Rush GT, I do tend to confuse the title with Moto Race USA, which is another title that we have in the system. Looks like this right here. And Moto Rush GT is basically a newer version of Moto Race USA, which is kind of cool. So I think it's really cool that Baltoro kind of remakes these old school arcade games in a modern light. So it's kind of my favorite thing as a modern developer as well. So this is really cool. I thought it was cool. That's why it's in the attract mode next to it as well, because you might notice a lot of sort of similarities between the two. So there you go. So that's Moto Rush GT and Moto Race USA, which are both available in store. So let's see here. What's going on with the questions in the chat here? Let me see here. Okay, now I got to scroll up. There's so many things here. Again, I'm not going to answer anything about games. It is literally Q1. It is 2 or 3 weeks into the year. Don't you worry. More games are going to come this year. Hold your horses. Hold your ponies. They're coming. So I cannot talk to you on any games that are not currently out. If you have questions on Moto Rush GT, you can totally answer those, or any other games out on the system right now. So there you go. Let's see. You want to get a better motorcycle? I know. I want to get a better motorcycle in real life. Let's see here. What actual questions can I find in the chat here? What do you got for me today? It's a death simulator. Great. Perfect. It is a death simulator a little bit. I do like that it has the helmet effects on screen. So those are fun, including rain and stuff like that. Okay. It's going to be a pretty quick show today if I got no actual question in the chat, which is great. Let's see here. Wait until game sales. I can't promise you game sales are going to come up again this year. I'm just saying. If you want a game, pick it up. Support the developer. That's my motto all the time. Yep, Mark. See, this is what I figured was going to happen too. Yes, Moto Rush GT and Moto Race USA are two separate games, and I confuse them when I'm talking nonstop. Sorry if I'm a little tired today. We did have a bit of a party here last night. Let's see. How's Zhang feeling this morning? Zhang is doing fine this morning. He's in his office right now in another meeting. All right. I know. Pang and Knights and Guns, both strong choices. Here we go. There we go. Question. I finally ran into an actual question I can answer. There's no leaderboards in Moto Rush GT currently. We'll see. Maybe we'll get added into an update later. I can't really promise that one. That's up to the developer. That's up to Baltoro Games. If they want to do that, who knows, right? It doesn't necessarily need leaderboards in this game. Maybe. It's kind of a hard one to do leaderboards for because there's different multitudes of this game that like you have to, certain times you have to do like a ton of close calls, or it's not just always about speed all the time, right? To hitting certain weather conditions, pop and wheelie for a certain amount of time too. So you could potentially do different leaderboards based off of that. Who knows? But it's up to them to add that. Currently, it's not in though. Not as of today. When's this game coming out? It's already out on the store right now. So if you go to iiRcade.store on your web browser or your tablet or your mobile device, your phone, then you can pick up this game right now. Let's see. Our save states. I never said that save states, button remapping, or anything else was coming right now. So there you go. I've only said these are features that we might want to add later on. About the dual joystick stuff on Moto. Sure. So it's hard without being able to show you through my HDMI right now on screen. So the button mapping works. Let me see here. It's gonna be right. So acceleration is gonna be A. So A to accelerate, B to brake like normal, and then you've actually got X is gonna be your other key components. So you're thumbing for wheelies. And then left joystick is left and right. C is technically horn. If you ever want to use the horn, there's no real reason to use the horn in game, but of course it's a motorcycle game, so they're going to add a horn. Why not? Classic. So for dual stick, if you can kind of see it behind me, yeah, I probably can't because now it's hidden by the comment, right? So there we go. Still hard to see. Anyway, with dual stick, it's going to be you're still steering on the left joystick. The right, however, is going to be forward to accelerate, back to brake, and then both left and right are going to position you for popping a wheelie. Right, so we could have added horn to it. Originally, I had horn on there, and it just felt like we didn't need it. So this way, it felt better to either if you wanted to push or pull, you can pop the wheelie. So, but yeah, so accelerate's always forward. So just like a speeder or like a mech or anything, you're going to play like this most of the game. And then, yeah, back is going to be brake. So that's how that works for Twin Stick. Is Twin Stick coming? Twin Stick's already there. So yeah, Twin Stick's already in the game today. You don't have to play Twin Stick though, right? We give you that option. You don't have to do it. So you can play with just buttons if you'd like to, or you can play Twin Stick, which is way cooler, I think, but totally up to you. Totally dealer's choice. Enjoy the game your way. It's like Subway almost, right? Have it your way. Let's see. Again, with the save state system question, we never said that save states were coming. That's a feature that we would potentially like to add, but that's not a feature that's been announced quite yet. Okay. Tony, still have no idea what this bug is you're hitting? I'm looking into it, though. I think Mark also hit it, which is odd. But yes, in-house, we've never seen that before. So we're looking into that bug right now from Moto Rush for you. Let's see. Okay, again, button mapping, we don't know. Again, these are things that we'd like to have, but there's bigger priorities in the pipe first. Until we officially announce something, it's not a feature on the system. It's not something planned or anything like that, technically speaking. Until we officially announce any feature on the system, it's not there. So just bear that in mind. Let's see. Didn't know it had an original. Yeah, Shampoo Swan. So this isn't actually, it's not a direct predecessor to Motor Race USA. So don't be confused there. It just is very similar to it, just like Knights and Guns. They based a lot of Knights and Guns off of the original Pang arcade game, which is really cool. So these are just games that Baltoro likes to kind of recreate old school arcade games in a new school light. So that's really what it is, the correlation between the two. So I would never say it's like a direct sequel to Motor Race USA, but Moto Rush GT is basically just a newer version of that, a more modern day version of Motor Race USA. Let's see, is the next Game and Brew? I don't know. We just had this one, right? And it took us like 3 hours to wire up this room yesterday, which is fun because we are not electricians, and this building is not the best with outlets that we live in. But yes, who knows? Maybe we'll do in the summer. Maybe we'll do one later in the fall. I don't know yet. I got a lot of things on the docket for the year first that I got to get to before I can plan parties. This was just a quick impromptu since we had to cancel the one in December. Let's see here. Shipping, I have no idea. I have no idea on shipping of parts right now. I can tell you that because who knows where in the blue earth anything is right now. It's kind of where it's at. So we'll see. I do know that things are on the way. I just don't know when exactly they will arrive is the problem. Again, we're not a shipping company, unfortunately. We can do our best to track things, but the warehouse kind of controls that a little bit. And really, it's not even the warehouse at the time. It's Moto Rush multiplayer. Moto Rush GT is not multiplayer. It's single. That's actually why we were able to do the twin stick on it too. So I didn't want to take, if there was multiplayer, I wouldn't have given you twin stick because I didn't want to take away 2-player mode. However, because it's only a single player game, yeah, it's twin stick and everything else now. So you can always challenge people though in it too. You can always take note of the scores or whatever the challenges that you're doing in the game too. If it's popping and wheelie for a certain amount of time, it's a lot of close calls, things like that. You can always take people on that way. Doing that a little bit last night here. Let's see, yes, there are tons and tons of achievements in this game. Brian, I think, was playing a little bit last night too. So thanks for stopping by. It's good to meet Lord Vader himself. Let's see. What other questions do we have today? Anything else on Moto Rush GT? Does game offer multiplayer? Yeah, so we just covered this, right? So single player game. Moto Rush GT is a single player only game. Let me see. So Papa Brad, question. With online coming, I see you're choosing great games for us to play online. Will spectator mode be a feature? No idea. Expect bare bones when online comes out. That's why it's going to be in beta for a while. So we're doing beta. We're not rushing our online rollout. So that's why we're going to do probably a handful of games at a time, and that's it. So we're going to do batches of games, and we'll keep rolling it out that way until we sort of cover the entire library after a while. And we're always going to keep improving the features that are there and adding new ones too. So what it's going to release with, I can't technically say right now. However, I guarantee you spectator mode's not there. But luckily enough on iiRcade, you have an HDMI output, so you can stream anytime you want as well. Super easy to stream. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, whatever you want to do. So streaming is always an option if you do want somebody to spectate you. But yes, for now, online is not going to have spectator on release, at least. And the features that come on release, we'll see what they are. again, whenever we actually launch it, come a couple weeks from now, right? So because we're still in Q1, that's when you'll know more. So you'll get the full specs. Let's see. Mark, thanks for stopping by last night too. I see you in chat. Okay. Yes. 100 horn presses gives you an achievement. That's right. That's what the horn's meant for in this game, in Moto Rush GT. So it shouldn't be easy to get stuck in a wheel using the right joystick. So maybe you're pressing the wrong direction, I'm going to guess. Because again, we've tested this game out to nauseam. It definitely works on our systems here. So any bugs, you can just send to contact@iiRcade.com and we can look into them. I did see Tony's video earlier, so I'm looking into that right now. Which way do I prefer to play? I prefer to play twin stick because I think it's cooler and more fun. I just think it's a fun feature to have when we can do it as twin stick. But that's just me. Yeah, I definitely prefer the twin stick. However, I don't know, if you want to use the buttons, go for it. Why not? But yeah, I totally prefer the twin stick. I think it's fun. I don't know. Anytime I do twin stick games, I feel like I'm piloting a mech for some reason, or like somebody posted on a speeder bike later on too. Yeah, that's what I feel like. I'm just like doing a speeder bike. Oh, twin stick may be taller. No, it won't. If it would, I'd be a giant right now. Bill corrected me. You're right. I'm sorry. It's Burger King, it's not Subway. Thank you, Bill. What is this question from Pete? Question, will Zhang sign the iiRcade 2.0 cabs? Well, we don't have a 2.0 cab. Remember, that was just for the one live stream that they had that we didn't have a name for it yet. So we're still toying around with our name for the new iteration. Is really what it is. So this is just the next iteration. We're not calling it iiRcade 2.0, so don't get confused there. It's just the next iteration of the cabinet you see behind me. Let's see, will it be signed? I don't think so, but we'll see. Who knows? Anything's possible. Especially if you're an original Kickstarter backer, we'll see. Maybe he'll sign your new one if you buy a new one. We'll find out. Again, everything's pending on the new cabinets until we officially launch the pre-order. So, and that'll be coming up soon enough this year. Let's see. Can I claim iiRcade as a dependent on my taxes? You unfortunately cannot claim us as a dependent on your taxes. However, I wish you could, because maybe you could pay my taxes then. So that'd be kind of cool. Okay. What other questions do we have today? Again, I'm not going to be here for too long today. We don't really need to be here for forever today. I got nothing special for you up my sleeve right now, too. There's nothing up my sleeves. I'm not a good street magician right now. Let me see. Questions, comments. Could I shadow announce a game in the attract mode more sometime this year? Yeah, I think I did do that once or twice last year. That's right. Or like a couple weeks ago, right? Would be a fun Easter egg hunt. Potentially. We'll see. Again, attract mode is still like an ever-evolving feature right now that we're working on. So who knows what the future holds for attract mode right now. Let's see here. Questions only on Moto Game? They can be. They don't have to be. They can be on any game on the system currently available. I can answer any game or any game-related question that's currently on the system right now. So we have played through them all. And some of them we've gone to real arcades to play too, which is fun. Will Game & Brew be coming to West Coast? I have no idea. I have no idea what state the world will be in by the time June rolls around, let alone 2 months from now, right? So no promises. We might not, maybe we won't have one the rest of the year. Who knows? I hope that doesn't happen. I hope we do. But we'll see. Who knows what other events we might have planned in the future. Again, it's so early in the year right now. It's only 3 weeks in. It's January still. There's plenty of fun things to come this year. Let's see. Coming soon games for Attract Mode? Yeah, potentially. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. What is my leaderboard name? We've been over this. I'm light on the leaderboard. So if you ever see LITE on leaderboards, that's me. I'm right up there in Congo Bongo, and I got to take my #1 spot back in Congo Bongo. So if I see you on there, I'm coming for you. Just know that. Let's see. Don't really care to talk on other acquisitions for other things right now. But yes, it was a little surprising, but also not. Let me see here. European question too. That's right. I won't even try to read this name because I'm going to butcher your name and I'm so sorry. I am basically illiterate. I can't read. So let's be real here. If iiRcade purchased for Europe, would the store work with a credit card with a US address or based on IP address? Store is based on IP address. So when you create an iiRcade account on the store, it is based on IP address. So if you're anywhere outside of the US, Canada, or Korea currently, you cannot create an account unless you're on a VPN. But yeah, that's just part of our licensing agreement currently for certain games. A lot of games are not worldwide licenses, so we have to make sure that they work specifically within our regions of the world that we have to work with, right? We're within boundaries, essentially. Let's see. What is Microsoft buying? I don't know. I wonder how much a Microsoft acquisition would be right now. Let's see. We'll also be getting the new Mayhem Brawler DLC. Stay tuned on Mayhem Brawlers DLC. So what you're talking about is that Mayhem Brawlers released the She-Wolf update, right? So that's their next one. So we launched the Air Supremacy update, and next one would be She-Wolf in line. Is it coming to iiRcade? Stay tuned to see in the coming weeks. Windjammers 2. I would love to have Windjammers 2 playing right behind me right now. I see that question. Is iiRcade planning on going to E3? No idea at this point of the year. So E3 is actually going to be online only this year. They've already decided that, so I don't think that's going to change. GDC for Game Developers Conference is also fully online this year. So expect most things to be fully online, and if that's the case, we probably will not be in attendance because we're a very physical product, as you can tell. It helps a lot when people can touch these things and play with them, right? It helps a ton. So if you can't do that, it doesn't work as well for us digital. So there's not necessarily a reason for us to pay for that kind of thing, but we'll see. Who knows? I have no idea, honestly, at this point in my life. We'll find out. Again, it's a very busy Q1 here at iiRcade. Extremely busy. So we got a lot of things cooking for year 2, and I have to plan a lot of things out, and we have to time things right and do a whole mess of things. But yeah, I'm sure we'll do some other events and stuff throughout the year. I would doubt that we would. Is it E3? Don't know. Let's see. A healthy amount of games. Gordon, how dare you ask me about hockey like every week? Can we expect a week in the near future that we might see a more healthy amount of game releases? Who knows? I don't know. We plan game releases very timely in a certain manner that we do them. They have to be scheduled around whenever they're actually working properly, right? So we have to get things working online first before we can actually release them. So it takes time. Healthy amount. I released almost 300 games to you within a year. That's kind of a good, healthy amount of games. I'm not going to lie. We're not going to do like 10 games a week anymore. It's probably not going to happen. I would not expect that. But who knows? Who knows? Let me see. Again, I cannot talk on games that have not released yet or are still in the works right now. Any more of those new games? Unfortunately, not today, George. All you get is Moto Rush GT, which is actually a pretty sweet deal, honestly. It's a good game. I like that game a lot. Especially if you're into like racing games. That's it. Let's see. Sure. There's a list of games that have been announced and are not out yet. Yeah, again, because it takes us time to get these games working properly. So, and we're not allowed to release them if they're not working properly. That's kind of how the deal works usually. And depends. Some stuff's in-house, some stuff's out-of-house too. Keep that in mind. So it's not always up to us. Sometimes it's up to the developers to, not drop the ball kind of thing. But we work with some great developers and they're always on point, which is good. Let's see. Tim's Tiny Arcade. Tim, welcome to the show. We'll watch your show sometimes too. It's good to see you. If you own two arcade cabs or two iiRcade cabs with one account, will you be able to play online with both cabs against each other? That's a great question. I don't have an answer for you right now, and I don't want to promise you something and be incorrect on it currently because I have to look through design docs right now to actually answer that properly. So stay tuned on that one. It's a great question that I would love to answer for you right now. I just can't. Let's see here. Okay, not really a question. Shoeshine. Not really a question, but it is a question. Saw those iiRcade branded bar stools. Yeah, that's right. From Game and Brew photos. Yep, we do have branded. I'm actually sitting on one right now. There's actually a branded iiRcade bar stool underneath me right now. This one's kind of comfy. They're really prototypes in the office. Honestly, it's really what a lot of these are. But yes, the one in my office is pretty nice though. Stay tuned on accessories. I'm not promising you bar stools are coming, by the way. I'm not hinting at anything there. It's just something, clearly we want to play around with different options and stuff sometimes. How do I update my games? Games should update if there's an update available on the store for them. You just launch the game and it should prompt you whenever it kicks in. So if I try to launch Moto Rush GT and it's just mismatching two games now in one. Anyway, if I went to the instruction screen and then if I pressed A again right now and there was an update for this game, it would prompt me and say, hey, a new update's available. Do you want to update, yes or no? As long as it's not a forced update, in which case you have no choice but to update to play the game. Otherwise, that's it. And then it just updates. It's going to look like a normal game download to you. So it's going to reinstall the files that needs to reinstall, and then that's it. You can launch after that. So that is how game updates work on the machine. And you don't need to just be checking if there's updates available all the time in the store too. If there's an update available, it'll just pop through. But that's how that works too. Same thing with firmware updates as well. It's just going to be power cycling the machine. So it's just when you turn it on, if there's a firmware update that's available for it, it'll just pop up right away. Let's see here. Questions. I'll take like 3 more questions maybe, call it a day. Get back to work a little bit. Crack some whips, Let's see. If you're having a problem with game updates, contact at iiRcade.com. We're going to need your account and your device ID, just so you know. I'm always very good with the flow, Mark. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, there's 0 plans today other than talking about Moto Rush GT, because I like this game a lot, and Moto Race USA, of course. Let's see here. Pre-orders for the new cabs. Will pre-orders for the new cabs ship internationally, or do non-Americans need to wait for them to hit retailers? No idea right now. Stay tuned throughout the year. I can't promise you cabs are coming outside the U.S. currently. U.S., Canada. Of course, we ship to Canada as well, too, on the website. Otherwise, don't know. Don't really know. As of now, no. The answer is no. Will that change later on in the year? Maybe. Will it change later on next year? Who knows? We'll see. Bash Bowling rough estimate? I don't know. You'll have to ask Bill on that one. I'm not the developer of that game. It's not up to me. So there you go. You'd have to ask Bash on that one. What have I done for you lately? What have you done for me lately, Mark? That's the real question. You bought a game today. That's what you've done to me. I'm excited about that. Let's see here. Other questions. Let's go 2 more questions. I can get 2 more. What decides the price point of a game? The developer decides the price point of the game. We talked to them a little bit, but it's pretty much generally just up to the developer. And we just match typically whatever the other consoles or PC is on for the release. As far as like arcade games go, because there's no real pricing for arcade games, right? We just talk very heavily with our licensors and see. Plus, of course, it comes down to how much does that license cost us, right? How much does that license cost us? How many do I need to sell in order to recoup that loss? It's business. That's how it works. But yeah, generally speaking, it's just up to the developer to price their games. So we don't control their game. They're sort of like loaning a game, right? When you put it on a system like ours, like a console, we're sort of on loan to the store. It's our store shelves, and we pick what to sell on it, basically. But we don't control the actual sale of that product all the time, right? So I can't just go and put a game on sale because technically speaking, that's somebody else's product. That's not ours. So like game sales and stuff, we have to talk very heavily with all of our developers and publishers to get those online. That's why they take time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty much just the developer decides. You see what else here? All right, one more question. Let's make it a good one. Let's make it a good one for the day. Not sure what save for later. Interesting. So Trim Care, New Jersey. Question, will there be a save for later option added to the iiRcade game store? Who knows? You're talking about like a wish list, I believe, and this is a feature that we've talked about before that we've totally wanted to have. It's just not there currently. Will it be added? Stay tuned in the year. But yeah, so wish list feature, I believe, is what you're talking about for sure. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I know there's plenty of features that you guys want. 100%. Keep saying guys again. I told you guys last week I was going to say folks. Plenty of features that you folks want. There we go. All right. I know I said one last question, but this will be truly the last question. Let's see here. Nope, I cannot ballpark any game release dates. Can't do it because I don't know that there might just be a break in it the very last day before release or something, right? So it doesn't work that way. Do you need some online testers? You're all going to be my online testers, whether you know it or not. Yes, we do plenty of in-house online testing beforehand, and then we'll probably roll out an very closed alpha after that with people outside the company, and then we'll roll it out to actual general users, and it'll be still in a beta state. Okay. Retromania DLC, it's a good one. When the Retromania DLC is released, how will that work on iiRcade platform? Will it require an additional purchase? As far as I know, all the DLC for Retromania is free. Don't quote me on that, but currently the Retromania DLC I know of is free. So if that is the case and it's just a free DLC, likely we'll just push in the game update because there's no reason not to have the DLC. So if that's the case, if not, stay tuned on DLC purchases. Maybe those will be coming to you at some point. All right. That's pretty much it, right? That's it. Jeff, you just showed up when the party's ending. I'm so sorry. Qbert, I would love to play Qbert right now. Can't do Qbert. Qbert would be amazing, though. All right. That's it. That's pretty much it, right? Any other pressing questions before I move on with the day? It's not a lot. I know there's not a whole lot of things going on for you guys right now, unfortunately. You folks. Yeah, again, Q1, we've got so much stuff going on, so many things for planning and things throughout the year, dealing with coordinating all the different teams, new features, new updates, new games, licenses, all this stuff, legal, business, marketing. It's great. Tons of jargon. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on right now too, so stay tuned. I mean, the upcoming months will probably be a lot more exciting than January, I would say. But that's how it goes. Q1, here we go. Otherwise, yeah, that's all I've got for you today. Yes, that's right, Mark. Folks, we're saying folks now. We're all old. I'm old. I'm an old soul. I don't know. Let's see. Any update on Mutant Football? Mutant Football Cabs. We updated December 19th, I believe they shipped out. So Mutant Football League Cabs will be coming out, who knows, whenever they get here pretty much too. Unfortunately, I can't tell you on that. They have been shipped. They're on their way. Where they are at in the world right now, though, I have no idea. They're out of my hands entirely. But yeah, otherwise, there's not a whole lot of things for me to play you out on even today, too. Pretty much just going to end it. Let's see, where's Warhorse? I don't know. Jake in the chat? Warhorse, you're here? All right. Otherwise, that's it for today. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Brett. But yeah, so that's it. It's a good show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for, I don't know, paying attention to me, I guess. That's a good way to put it. But yeah, no, if you haven't tried Moto Rush GT, that's the game of the day right now, too. Game of the week, I should say. But yeah, Moto Rush GT, as well as if you want to do an old school version of it, Moto Race USA, also available on the store. I forget the price of it right now, too. Maybe $7.99. Sounds about right. Not sure. But yeah, so also a good game. But yes, and then, of course, more games later on this year. Otherwise, that is all I got for you today. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe we'll have a more exciting week next week. We'll find out. You have to tune in and see then, right? All right. Until next time, folks. I'm going to stick to folks, by the way. All right. I'll see you all later. Thanks. Bye.